Oh,
Oh, hey.
it's like I did that on purpose.
Hey, everybody. Wow, you're all here.
You don't have a
You
microphone.
You and you?
And you.
And you're all
Oh,
up there.
hey.
And the puzzler.
It's so nice to see you.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm a poured over coffee man by the name of Aaron Lee.
Oh, I'm Evan Coy, unwilling to become a hot chocolate guy, and we're here with a very special villain,
The puzzler.
the Puzzler. Oh, man. Here we all are. Isn't this great, Aaron? Isn't this great, the Puzzler?
On this,
I have such a feeling of warmth from this gathering with us and the puzzler.
The Puzzler. Finally together. Mano y mano y me.
Is this maybe better than the holidays? I think so.
This could be.
I'm
This-
gonna go for it.
This will be the greatest podcast or the worst podcast.
I think it's already the best. How could
We're
it,
all
how could
here.
it be any worse than anything else?
Well, I
don't know.
mean, we're here with the Puzzler. Does it get any better?
Whoa!
What- so what are we doing
look
today?
At that
Yeah.
cardboard.
All of the Batmen. So we're
I'm,
not-
I think
it's
there's
like
more
a
Batman
hidden
than that.
challenge because I'm not even going to look at the front of the box. I'm just going to dump it all out.
oh, I like that. So, Aaron, my thought is, I know that you're going to be drawing today.
Yeah, I'm working on some Wesley 9.
I'm going to be just being a goof. And I think that the Puzzler is going to work on a puzzle. If it gets close,
Ooh, it's going to be a bad. Ooh, look, a pre-solved piece.
hey,
Whoa!
you're one or 250th of the way there.
Yes.
I had
Blue.
to do some math there. We don't do math at the comic shop.
I do enjoy so far that this is cut well enough, but so poorly that some of the pieces are just together inside of the sealed bag.
There it is.
Oh, there was some game that we were playing that had little magnet pieces, like the refrigerator magnet pieces. It was the ransom game,
Okay.
and you had to go through and break all of them apart in a very particular way, because otherwise, the label of the
You haven't
the
been on
magnet-
camera for like 4 months.
Me?
No, I'm just going to move the camera over because you get close to the when you're drawing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather just have you be able to draw.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to break them apart in a very particular way, in order to play the ransom game, which is a lot like Cards Against Humanity. Like, you're given a prompt and you have all your words and you have to make the best one.
Okay.
And then the best one wins. I only won once because the words I got were not very good, but it was for
Why weren't they very good?
well, because just luck of the draw. I didn't have very good words, but I did get
Very bad words.
I got a prompt for a toupee store, and I put together this is my winning phrase: elaborate deception, elegant display. That was from my toupee store. It was quite-
Mervin's Merkins.
well, yeah, well, maybe.
The Puzzler. Aaron, tell us about Wesley. I almost said number 5 for some reason.
Number
tell us
5?
About, yeah, tell us about
Well,
Wesley number
I'll
5.
tell you about
What?
Wesley number 5. What
Yeah.
even happened in Wesley number 5? I think that's the one that's entitled The Walk, where Wesley and company.
I didn't really care about Wesley 5. I want to hear about Wesley 9.
Wesley
Sorry, I
9?
apologize. I misspoke, Aaron.
Oh, it's
That's the interesting. Well, not that Wesley 5 is not interesting, but Wesley 9's the new sauce.
Wesley in a walk
Yes.
to remember.
maybe get him and Mandy Moore together on a cover. Why not? Yeah. So it is 60 pages of
I'm not sure how much you want to spoil here. I mean,
robot action. Well, this is
I don't
the
want your
cover.
wife. I don't want your wife to be upset with all the spoilers that she's about to see.
No, she's had to endure every single step of this. But like, check this out. And they're like, oh, Aaron, what'd you do today? Well, I got more work done on Wesley. And the next day she's like, well, Aaron, what'd you get done today? Oh, I got more work done on Wesley. So it's like the same thing over and over again. Oh, the two believers are here?
The two believers, is that like the fun thing? Is that the comic shops rather than the true believers?
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't hear? This is Martin's,
No, I missed this.
Martin. This is Martin's gimmick, which I think is fantastic. The two believers, and I am very anti-merch. But I really want to make a Two Believers T-shirt that's like an outline of Jonathan Ashline's head and an outline of Teresa's head, and just have it be like this fancy Two Believers thing, and then we'll just print up T-shirts, and that will be our gimmick T-shirt.
So this is like perfect for John then, me doing a Batman puzzle.
The puzzle. Well, don't reveal your identity, the puzzler. You're a mystery guest.
It's I bad, why you mad, whoever that
Whoever
is.
that is. A mystery guest. Mystery villain, the Puzzler, is here with us today. Very exciting, the Puzzler.
Do you want me to tell
I'm
you
sorry.
more?
Let's go back to Wesley 9.
You want me to tell you more about Wesley 9?
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. We had to
Well, a lot to introduce today because this is a chock full of action episode.
This will be our greatest podcast or our worst podcast, and there will be no middle ground.
That's
It
like
is
every
the greatest.
episode.
It's
That's
the
best
greatest.
part.
So the Wesley number 9, imagine it. It's 2005, Hot Dog Day, Alfred,
Hot
New
Dog
York,
Day.
which is a real
Alex, do you know
celebration.
what Hot Dog Day is?
No, I don't. But I need to hear more.
It's like
Go on.
It's like the Laker Fest or like whatever. It's a spring festival for a college town.
okay.
And I was there. I was there at Hot Dog Day for a couple of years, which they didn't partake of like any kind of crazy stuff. But this is where all the cast of my character, all my characters come together for Wesley 9 at Hot Dog Day. There's a little man on the street kind of rundown about different people who are going to attend Hot Dog Day. And they're out there looking for the hot
Wait,
dog
who's the
vendor.
big robot-looking character?
That's Wesley the robot.
Oh.
He's a robot named Wesley.
Wesleyan robot.
Yes.
It was named Wesley because he was originally composed of a weather emergency system, hence Wesley.
So you say hence West, but it took me about 2 years to figure that out. Weather emergency system is WES. I know you said West, but you have to spell that out for me because I'm not very intelligent.
Well, I like those kind of subtle things that take a while because I would rather have like the cleverness of it blossom in a mind over the course of several years than just somebody be hit over the head with
I'd
it.
rather not feel dumb and just have it explained to me right away so I can go, oh, yeah, West.
Oh.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, maybe-
Wesley, WES.
Maybe when I do the collected, I'll do a preamble that spells it out for everybody. So they're hunting for the hot dog vendor. And eventually, they do have to find him, but Wesley does have to dance the robot, which is a little humiliating for a robot to have to dance the robot dance. But, it's worth it in the end. But there is a...
It's like when I make Martin do the comic shop shuffle. Did I ever show you that?
No.
No, because that's not a real thing.
we have to,
Well, to get in the store today, I better see the comic shop shuffle.
oh, boy.
I once, without naming any names, knew a person who was a manager at the Brief Arby's that was in town. Where the
Is that where in Arby's
where
we had
the-
to show
where
up wearing
the-
briefs alone?
Yes.
Yes, he was a manager, and he made one of the people that we had at one point gone to high school with go through the drive-through window to punch in and out of work.
What?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you've told me this story before? Because I feel like this-
probably have, because it's so absurd that it's almost unbelievable.
true villainy, it sounds like, from the
Yeah,
the
I
puzzler.
mean, it wasn't me because I never worked at Arby's, but you know,
My wife is suggesting a comic shop shirt that has the comic shop logo, and underneath it says "I believe."
Jonathan Lego Man, I love it. Put me down for a shirt. You may have missed the end of the podcast a week or two ago where you were on the podcast, or maybe it was Martin doing Jonathan's voice, where we got the
Exclusive rights to use Jonathan Ashline's likeness
yes.
and on any merchandise, however we see fit, in perpetuity on this earth and others in all alternate realities
And for no cost.
for no cost.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
appreciated
wow.
that when Jonathan said that the other day on the podcast. I don't know if he was there or remembers, but I don't think it was Martin doing a voice. I'm pretty sure it was actually Jonathan. So,
there are an impossible number of butt chins in this.
I'm sorry, you're saying there's a lot of butt chins.
Butt
in-
chins.
in
There
the-
isn't like an impossible number of butt chins.
Is that
like,
is that the weakness of the
it,
puzzler?
it is
butt
it is the
chins?
weakness presently. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I think I got another. Nope. That's just another butt chin.
That's my new pitch. If I'm ever in an elevator with a DC editor, which will never happen, this is my new bad project pitch for DC: Crisis on Infinite Butt Chins.
Yeah, I mean it writes itself.
Yeah, you just look up every character that has a butt chin, and it's just their heads floating in space, and they're like colliding and like running into each other, and
Yeah.
there's like one head with a butt chin holding another head with a butt chin, like in a very dramatic pose, like
Yeah.
Supergirl and Batman.
Let's go to the document cam.
Super
right.
butt chin man.
We got to take a look at some butt chins. This is
It's an artist's rendition.
OGL.
Because I wanted to talk about the OGL thing with Alex, but
What's OGL?
Open game license. That's
Oh,
what we were
okay.
talking
we don't
about.
have to talk
on
about that
our-
yet.
our
I just,
way
I
back.
just, I just want to
Okay,
throw
well,
you a quick Batman
on
butt
the
chin.
Wayback Machine.
Let me. Can I grab a Sharpie?
Yeah.
Can I grab it? Let me and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Let me get in on this.
What
butt.
color? What color Sharpay would you like?
I've got a
It-
couple over
whatever
here, but
the-
I think,
whatever's the
I think
darkest.
you have the best. We don't have any black Sharpies.
Purple.
Yeah.
or whatever is strongest. Definitely not the yellow Sharpie because that's not going to show up on camera. But
Thank you,
let's
sir.
see how we doing with this. I'm actually going to try to do a lefty. You want one?
He's the
Puzzler?
puzzler. He doesn't have room to- he doesn't have room
really
to draw
like
around.
I'm
He doesn't have room.
starting to get into my groove here of puzzling.
I'm going to try and do a lefty Batman butt chin. Let's see
You're
what
just
I-
copying mine.
Well, Batman is a very unique face.
You'd think that until you're trying to put together.
Oh,
what is it?
you're keep the paper right there because you will reveal the butt chin at the end. This is actually
Ooh.
great paper placement. It's cutting
This
off.
is-
It's cutting off like right
Yeah.
there.
This is 10 Batman butt chins with very subtle costume color variants.
10 Batman butt chins with subtle variations.
It's a good listicle. You know, I've looked at that listicle before of top 10 Batman butt chins.
Oh my gosh. That content needs to exist. Just totally absurd comic book.
It's got to be a
Article.
BuzzFeed article somewhere. Like let's be honest.
All right, you're making me want to go back and revise my Batman, my butt chin Batman. So I'm going to work
Oh.
on one here too.
Here's the bottom corner because it's TM DC Comics.
The bottom corner of the Batman butt chins.
I found it.
Now it's the ASMR show.
Listen closely to the markers scratching the page.
It's funny, my little cartoon style, actually. I remember this is not 20 years ago, but at least 15 years ago, being in a Wegmans, because all I talk about lately is, well, if I talk about that's my whole life, was growing up in a grocery store.
Evan, will you tell me about Wegmans?
Let me tell you a story about Danny and Colleen and a family named Wegman. That I was just in the back room in a meeting, maybe doodling, and everybody knows that I doodle. And they're like, and the girl sitting next to me goes, "Does every character you draw have to have a butt chin?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess I never really realized that before. That for like, and I still do it quite a bit. That I'm a big fan of the butt chin. I think it's my style is obviously very Larceny, and Larson does it a lot with his things. It's just the exaggerated
Petty larceny?
petty larceny. He does a character Sarge Dargon, which is a green Vietnam War sergeant who.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But he just a very pronounced chins, and that's just I don't know, man. I'm a butt chin fan. What can I say? I like it in the front, and I like a butt in the front and the back. How about that?
Multiple butts.
Yes, just like I almost revealed the puzzler's name here. Just like the puzzler is dealing with multiple butts. Yes,
So many butts.
I mean you're doing a good job handling those butts, though. I gotta say.
I'm trying. I'm gonna see how fast. Like, I haven't done a puzzle in at least a week, as per my name, the puzzler. But I don't know the last time I sat down.
How
and
much
The
actually did a
puzzler's
puzzle.
going in cold.
How often does the puzzler do a puzzle? That's actually a very good question.
It's I solve analytical puzzles in troubleshooting. So this is just like a more fun version of that because there's no stakes.
Do you?
Oh, wow.
Do you ever pair up with the Riddler at all? The Riddler and the Puzzler and the,
Oh, what a travesty that would be. That would be like
Or maybe arcade.
like the Calendar Man.
oh, Calendar Man.
Speaking of calendars, we ordered a new calendar for this year. It still hasn't arrived. It's the middle of January.
That's a little silly. When I tried to order a calendar as well, it was going to take several days, and then Evan just gave me a calendar, and it's like, well, it solved that problem. If I wanted to wait many days, I would have gotten it in December
Yes.
for the 13-month calendar.
Yeah. I have a wonderful calendar that features my daughter and my dog for every month of the year. So that's quite nice. Should we reveal? I have a
Yes.
Batman butt chin that's ready. So
Old man butt chin.
here's the
Wow,
Batman.
this is a grizzled looking butt chin man.
Well, he's got something. Something's going on with his Batman's tongue too. He's trying to pick his nose with his tongue.
Wow. Is that what that is?
Ooh.
Yeah. And then here it is, the big reveal.
Look at that crapper.
It's a hairy butt chin.
Wow, that's truly some of your finest work,
Thank you.
Mr. Z-Lee.
Done.
Hairy-
Done. With,
It's not quite your Thor. I don't know, Alex. I could be
Who?
speaking to Alex is in the chat actually. Hello, hello,
Yeah.
Alex. I see you in the chat there. You just haven't said anything. But the puzzler, I'm not sure if you've seen Aaron Zeeley's the Thor.
I have not.
It's very very fancy.
Basically, Marvel, get in touch. You're gonna have a run that's gonna rival Walt Simonson. So I'm just saying.
So many bat symbols too.
Whoa.
This is my new butt chin Batman because I felt like maybe it needed to be more exaggerated. And I gave him what's very popular with the ladies apparently right now is the BBL. Do you know what a BBL is?
No.
No clue.
It's the Brazilian butt lift. So we gave him
Brazilian
a
butt
nice front side and we gave him a nice back side. That's the BBL butt chin Batman. Look for it coming April 2023, and it's going to be Tim Sale on Arts.
Oh.
Sorry.
God. But anyway, DC editors, get in touch. We've got some ideas for Batman. Those books will sell no matter what happens. So what could go wrong?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's 400 Bat books anyway. Why
Yeah.
not BBL butt chin Batman? That just flows.
BBL butt chin Batman. I mean, you could do a whole 1,000-page graphic novel on that.
Thousands of pages.
Or it's just Batman waddling around the streets of I don't know, L.A.,
Detroit.
Detroit. Get out here, a crime, and take a look at my glutes.
We got to come up with a good catchphrase for that. If you have a good catchphrase for
BBL butt lift Batman.
BBL butt chin Batman, please let us know in the chat. Thank you. I think we ran out of steam.
And back
the
to
puzzler.
the puzzler.
The puzzler. How you work? I feel like you've got
I'm
a couple of two-piecers put together. It looks like it's not that it's difficult to tell on camera, but when everything's like
it's getting
25% smaller, it's
Yeah.
tough to tell.
We're getting a few Batman faces partially put together here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the search. Normally, I start from the outside and work my way in, but this one is very apparently just going to be piecemeal to see how fast we can get it done before the end.
So
of the
usually
show.
you're born in the puzzle, usually you merely adopted the puzzle, but now
I
you're
usually
being born in it.
mold the puzzle to my will,
Oh, okay.
but this puzzle is molding me.
Well, I mean, the puzzler adapts to each puzzle. I mean, there's not
Yeah.
a particular puzzle that's going to slow down the puzzler. He's just going to learn and overcome. That's part of his superpowers.
That's right. You can solve any puzzle.
Do you want to talk about the OGL thing? I do think that that's kind of interesting. And this just came on my radar. Maybe, like, was there a leak like 4 or 5 days ago or something like that? Or
It was. It might even. Well, today's
They-
Thursday.
they've been talking about it
it's-
for several days, but I feel like in the past few days, like the past 4 or 5 days, but then the past maybe 2 days, it's escalated quite a bit.
I believe about a week ago at this point, a reasonably reputable source leaked the current incarnation of what the new Dungeons and Dragons OGL is. For the uninitiated, that's the open game license that allows basically anybody to create whatever third-party stuff and publish it without any serious detriment or cost to the person who's publishing it. Hasbro has decided that Dungeons and Dragons is wildly unmonetized.
Oh, so let's, not to interrupt, but that
Yeah.
whole fireside chat thing. There was a fireside chat, which is what I guess it is an industry term that sometimes is referred to when a company is not reporting or has reported on earnings but wants to just give an update to the company. So they hire like a third party bank analyst to kind of sit there and explain what's going on with the company. And usually it's done for damage control to kind of say, hey, things aren't as bad as they look. Hasbro is not a sinking ship. We didn't sink that battleship. It's still a very valid company with a growing fan base and growing Magic players and Hasbro players. And their fireside chat, which was, I'm going to say a little over a month ago, maybe mid-November.
The community thought that it was going to be damage control for the debacle of the Magic 30, which still has yet to be resolved, and they're just pretending basically at this point that it didn't happen and that people aren't angry about it to this day.
We had a person came by yesterday and was asking, "Did you get the 30th anniversary thing yet?" And they're very well connected to the Magic community, not only here but
Yep.
widely. And the general consensus is nobody that he knows has seen, and no store that he knows has seen that 30th anniversary product,
Which
which I thought was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
it's yeah, there was a lot of tone deafness to it. At one point during the whole thing, they talk about how Dungeons and Dragons is under monetized and how they want to use some of their app based things to try and push more content.
Sure.
Well, not even content. You know, the big thing in a lot of online communities is this like need for essentially subscription based income. So
Yeah.
they're talking about like trying to use D&D Beyond, which is their app, to push subscription based things, be it a battle pass, because that's the hot new buzzword for that just shenanigan chicanery. But in all of the talk of their properties, and they're like, oh well, it's gonna be Magic is gonna be the new $1 billion brand for Hasbro. It's like, great, at what cost? And then the background worry was, okay, so they're developing the new Dungeons and Dragons, fine. It's about time for an update anyway because they do it every so many years. Cool.
How often do they update D&D? Like, I don't even know.
Third edition was like probably the longest stint that they did before they did like fourth edition, and fourth edition bombed. It was widely panned as kind of an uninteresting system.
Roughly once a decade?
More often than that, like
Okay.
5 to 7 year rotation, I'd say.
Okay.
Because by the time you get to the end of that 7 years, you start to hear like, oh, we're doing the play tests at conventions, or we're letting creators see like the beta edition of some of the rule sets. But the big swinging change this time around
I thought you were
is
going to say big swing and something else. Whew.
yeah.
That's too hot for TV.
Those are the people that are making the decisions that think that they are said thing. But the big talk right now is not what the system's going to be like or what cool changes are coming. It's the open game license, and there are a lot of creators who have kind of gone silent about it because they're worried about drawing the ire of the company.
What
So,
is
like,
the open game license? This was something I was not aware of. I always wondered how, Critical Role and things like that
Yeah.
got away with streaming, and I just felt, well, maybe that's just
So the
accepted practice.
Yeah, the president of Dungeons and Dragons around the time of third edition, so we're talking the early 2000s, decided that to protect the brand, and they're using a lot of legalese for how they're evading this. Pretty much the open game license said, like, in perpetuity, anybody can do anything with it within these particular guidelines, and the guidelines are very vague, but it's intentionally so. You could homebrew your stuff and nobody can give you a hard time about it if you come up with a cool module within a particular system, third edition, 3.5, 4, 5, whatever. There was no way for Hasbro, well, it wasn't even Hasbro at the time, just Wizards of the Coast, to demand money out of you, which created like a flourishing community of creative people and storytellers and player interest. But the leak shows there are...
So they're updating the terms of this OGL thing that's been around for a very long time,
Yeah.
that allows creators to kind of take their content, make it their own, as long as they're not monetizing the stream.
No.
Or
You can monetize it as much as you want. That's why, like, Critical Role and Cobalt Press and all these other big companies have been allowed to just, like, create a whole company around playing Dungeons and Dragons without the express permission of Wizards of the Coast, because the open game license just said so. Like, you're just allowed to do this. And I don't think it was a short-sighted thing then. It's a very niche thing with a lot of very passionate people who play these games. So the fact that Aaron could draw a cool monster and then
Whoa,
write
whoa.
a module about
Oh,
it,
oh.
and then everybody loves it, and now Aaron's well known for this thing, and people want to pay for it, and they ask him for more content, and maybe he started to base a job around that. Well, now from what they're saying is there's some thresholds that seem outlandish to some people and seem like well within the wheelhouse to others, and I don't agree with any of it. Some of the figures that they're throwing out are like, so if you make over $750,000 a year on whatever, whether you're selling the product or it's through maybe your YouTube revenue because of your show, you owe not only royalties in an amount that is percentage based.
I think it was 25% past 200 or 750.
I think it was actually closer to. I think the 25% was just in general, like you just owe them, but then you owe them that 25% plus you owe them royalties now.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was 25% to start, and then there was
Yes.
maybe all right, cool.
The $750,000 figure was now you owe them royalties. It's not even just you owe them the percentage of your earnings.
Mm-hmm.
So now maybe somebody who had a growing channel, or like, let's say you had something that made $1 million in a year. Well, that one Critical Role isn't making $1 million per person.
Yeah.
They have to pay their staff, and the company has to be, stable enough to continue. So that seems a bit absurd that you were allowed to do this for so long. So what people are assuming will happen, and I think that this is a pretty reasonable guess, is that if they don't course correct, you'll just see all of these popular people and creators just go away from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
The end. Like they'll just play other systems that are similar, because the things that Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons are known for are just properties and ideas, with the few exceptions that are just
Can't copyright dragon. Can't copyright elf.
giant.
Can't-
They have the pure copyright to things like Mind Flayer, but companies like Pathfinder got around that with like Illithid, or using other names that are similar enough, or Brain Devourer.
So the video I was watching yesterday for a few minutes was talking about Matt Mercer and Critical Role.
Yep.
And so they're in season 3, and the idea, or one of the things I guess that's going on in season 3 is all the major deities, gods of the universe, are being threatened somehow.
Interesting.
And the theory is, if this doesn't play out in their favor, well, at the end of season 3, all of these deities can just be removed.
Yep.
And then be replaced by other deities, and Mercer could, because I didn't realize Critical Role started with Pathfinder. Is that correct?
That I don't. I'm not super well versed with
I
Critical Role, but
We don't fact check anything on the podcast. I believe that's what was stated in this video, which I had never heard either. But it could just be when they were a small time thing. Maybe they began with Pathfinder and then jumped into D&D. It doesn't matter. But the thinking was by this, and again, I don't know. I don't really follow Critical Role that much. But the thinking was, if Matt Mercer has left himself a lane where, if the OGL thing doesn't work for him, you end season 3, you get rid of all the deities, and then you move to a different system for season 4, and you just keep going. And it's like then they've absolved themselves of the mess that is Wizards.
Yep. And there were other conversations that I've been reading online about how like how far is Wizards willing to pretend that they can pursue this? Like, did they try and say that the D20 system belongs to D&D? And it's like, how do you claim dice and dice rolling for a system like that? Maybe the specific names for stats or the way the character sheet looks, I could understand, but it seems like a legal fight that just they're stealing every last ounce at this point of good faith from the community.
Yeah.
After a rough year with Magic between releases, just the release schedule being relentless, and the constant like monetization, it's like people only have so much for these hobbies. So at some point you just stop buying it, and then great, your $1 billion valuation doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Aaron, tell us how you feel about the OGL change.
I'm learning a lot.
Okay.
I'm learning a lot just by listening. Yeah, like anything that has a cooling effect on an active community, like an active creative community, I don't like that.
And it would be one thing if they wanted to like seek some, like I could understand that from a company aspect, that you see all this money that's being made by other companies that aren't you off of your property. Sure, that feels bad, but recruit them rather than making them pay you. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, we'll have a internal second party division now that's Critical Role. Pay those people. Go ahead. They'd probably love to work for Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
or Wizards
Yeah.
of the Coast. Like
Guess
this
what?
is
Matt
these
Mercer's going to
people's-
make you a lot of money.
like- yeah, it's
He's
like-
got a ton of fans.
It's these people's passion. Like
We're
so.
going to take a quick timeout, actually. Aaron, are you waiting for the computer?
Oh yeah, it was doing something weird where it was like
Because I was going to say, if you want to help, we're at 20 or less than a half an hour to go, and Alex might need help with the puzzle.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if you're waiting
it's-
for a minute or two and want to help Alex with the puzzle,
oh,
or
I'm
the
not-
puzzler with the puzzle.
I'm not a puzzle man.
Oh, geez, really?
Not
All right,
really.
well,
I look at that and I think time sink.
all right. Well, I might have to help the puzzler at some point in time because again, we don't have all the time in the world to finish this puzzle. So I want to make sure that we're focused on
This
that.
is the comic shop's very first 12-hour comic cast, but really it's just me
The
solving
puzzle
the
cast.
puzzle.
Well, what was happening in my document? The reason I restarted the thing was when I took the paint bucket tool and I was filling in these open shapes, it was filling in the texture of the drawing underneath, and I was like, "What the heck is going on with that?" So that's why I saved it and restarted it because I have not run into that. This is probably using one as like a resource, or what is it? A reference layer, which is not what I wanted to do.
So, an aside to the Dungeons and Dragons conversation,
Yes.
when I was talking to somebody the other day, it was mentioned that not only are they doing all this damage to the brand potentially, depending on how they choose to enact all of these plans, like this coming year is like
Still doing it?
the
Yeah.
50th anniversary or something of Dungeons and Dragons, or
thought-
maybe it's
I
next
thought last
year.
year was the 50th.
It could have been.
Let me look that up.
There's some
Okay.
kind of big like anniversary that either just had, maybe it's this. I don't know. I should probably know at this point because it feels like.
Actually, it wouldn't have been last year. I would have known that. It would have been a whole big stink.
Well, and that's just it. It's like I haven't heard much being drummed up about any of this. So maybe he was.
20, it'd be 2024. So it'd be
24,
next year.
okay.
So that makes the
Yeah.
timeline checks out. Yeah.
But so, as the proprietor of the comic shop, have you seen any like rumors or advanced things that they're talking about at all at this point for a future, like big splashy Dungeons and Dragons anything?
I mean, there are some things that have come out of Alliance,
Sure.
which is our distributor. I know that they've been working on. It's not D&D 1, is it? Is that how they're going to rebrand? Okay.
This is just kind of like their operating code name, like D&D 1, D&D Beyond, D&D Next. Like these are all like
Yeah.
interchangeable things that they've used in the past. Beyond presently is their app, but last time it was D&D Next, which became
Oh, maybe it was D&D 1. Maybe it was D&D 1.
yeah, D&D 1
thank
is
you.
currently what they're calling it.
Does anybody in the chat know D&D at all? Are we just am I right here? D&D 1.
No, you're right.
Okay.
Like it's definitely D&D 1. But that's like little more than like the code name for
Yeah.
while it's being worked on. I'm sure it'll just be D&D 6th edition, or maybe they'll try and, really piss everybody off and they'll give it some kind of really cool name just in time to ruin the community.
They're playing a dangerous game, man. I do think that
It's a bad game of chicken.
it is a bad game of
Um,
chicken. The role playing has never been more hot. But also, what I've noticed lately, and Alex, I think you're a victim of this, is Warhammer. Warhammer is exploding, and I feel like if D&D doesn't do the right thing, if Hasbro gets too greedy, well, we already know that Games
Games
Workshop's
Workshop
pretty greedy, but
plenty
like,
greedy.
but there's
They just started putting out models that are over $200,
but,
and that's
but for whatever reason, that seems to resonate, I think, quite a bit with the gamer fan base right now, and I can definitely see people. Although it's two different things. You know, Magic is different than Warhammer is different than D&D.
Yeah.
I think you're dealing with a similar personality though, and I think that that person has a limited budget, and
Well,
D&D is a great thing because it can be that item that is, like I found it very interesting when I took over the store. How many military people are into D&D, and the reason why is if you're deployed,
Yep.
all you need is a set of dice, and really it's somebody who knows the rules, and that's it.
Sure.
A pencil and a paper and a set of dice. So like, yeah, you know, if you're in a Camp Pendleton somewhere, and you got nothing else, it's like, well, if you got a couple guys with some good imagination, and you want to escape, because guess what you do? Because guess what? You don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that like it's a great entry point, and you know, you hope they don't go down that road of greed like they have with Magic, which I know that they will. But it's one of those things. Again, it should be accessible to anybody and everybody. And yes, you can have tiers and you can have exclusive
Sure,
things
yeah.
and pricey things, but like to limit with the change of the OGL things and take away the joy of creative or community storytelling,
Yep.
group-based storytelling. Like, man, that's just blech.
So one of the things that's driving these sales in the direction they are, with the ever-scaling price upward and the constant premium products, is that the people who are all our age were the people who grew up with this stuff. So now
all of us were in like our mid-20s.
yeah,
yes.
and it's very much well, now you're an adult and you're getting a little more stable and you have a little more disposable income. So when they creep the price up by like $50 and you don't really have as much time as you did to like have fun with your friends sitting around the table playing whatever these games are, but like maybe you can buy a little bit of power, or like you can buy a cool thing that reminds you of when you had so much fun. Like that dragging the nostalgia out is become very aggressive in terms of monetization lately. And you can see it in all forms. Like, look at, as much as I'm excited about Dominaria Remastered and some of the other things that are coming out, it's strictly pulling it, hey, remember this cool thing and how powerful it is, and like we're gonna subtly change it just enough so that you feel good that there's new cards, but like we're bringing some of the stuff back too.
Heavy Face Bear says, I see inmates play D&D in the jail all the time. They pull it out of their heads. It's pretty impressive. They make little paper dice and make their own character sheets.
I've heard that before.
Right? Like,
and like depending on what jail system they're in, like sometimes it's encouraged because it's just a healthy outlet for people who are like legitimately trying to reform. But I've also seen some like goofy, I don't even know how much like bearing or founding there is, where it's like the gangs use it to like pass coded messages in their silly little fantasy game, but it's like it's mostly just dorks that want to get out of their own head.
yeah. Football MM says, what? There's a podcast tonight? Nope. This is a repeat.
Pobcast with
Heavy
a B.
Bob?
With
Heavy-
a B.
Podcast. Heavy Face Bear goes back to definitely encourage. It keeps them quiet and out of
Yeah,
trouble.
so there you go.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. I guess the prison thing makes sense. Prison and the military, they probably have a lot in common.
It's very much two sides of the same coin. Like it's people with nowhere to go and nothing to do, and how do you get out of your own head for a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Football MM says it's sad to have been excluded. Well, you know, sometimes when the puzzler shows up, someone's got to go. So that's just how it goes down in the streets. Aaron, did you get the computer working again?
Well, I mean, it's working. I have some ways around it, but it's still doing this weird thing where, like, if you make it closed shape, you can go to your bucket tool and fill it. But you see these little
Yes.
things? It's looking at my sketch underneath and filling in weirdly on the sketch that's underneath, which is not normal. So I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
know.
Oh, refer multiple. I wonder if this is.
I don't know. I don't know.
I bet it's this little check right here. Let's try again.
Puzzler, how's it going?
I have so many face pieces that I'm trying to
Yeah, that was it.
Nice.
if I can at least get some faces done and maybe a couple bodies before the end of this, I'll be pretty content.
I think I'm actually going to move over to the Puzzler. I'm gonna leave the Stream Deck and actually I'm gonna go on the other side because I'm gonna use the other microphone.
Ooh, can I be in charge of the?
You can. Do you want to switch it up? So I'm gonna move the Stream Deck over.
Will it reach over to me?
It should.
Yeah.
And it's
All right,
just
so-
it's just one.
Oh.
Hey.
I have the
he's
power.
in control.
2 is your document cam.
Oh,
Hey, and then 3 will be the Alex thing. All right, so I'm going to turn on the other microphone, and I'm going to start helping Alex here because we're
Bass,
running out of
treble and
time
bass.
to finish
Bass,
our
bass,
puzzle.
bass,
We'll
bass,
turn this
treble and bass.
microphone.
Oh, finishing this puzzle. That's
Is that microphone already on?
The
that's
fastest.
a pipe dream of
Ooh, it
pipe
is.
dreams right there.
All right. Just a warning, everybody. If you have sensitivity to light and rapid movement here, we're gonna be doing some crazy stuff.
I've
with the camera
assembled
now.
many bat cheeks just now.
I'm not sure how to do this.
I don't know. Just pick a face because most of the face pieces are here. But if you can do some edges, that'd probably be pretty good.
Do you want me to
Oh,
pick
no.
out? Do you want
I
me to
don't
pick out the
know.
edges?
Just do.
Can you hear? Can you hear me on this mic?
Oh, I'm not listening on the mic anymore.
Can you
Try
hear me
again.
on- can you hear
oh
me on
yeah,
this mic? Okay,
you're
good.
coming through loud and clear. Our two believers, we've now well, not we, me. I've now induced seizures in our two believers.
me?
Football MM says it's sad to have been excluded. What have I missed so far? AA Ron is in control. This is how the world ends.
Ron.
And Dead Gravy has said too late. Seizures abound.
Hello,
Oh.
Dead Gravy.
Another bat cheek has been assembled.
Bat cheeks assemble. And
I'm just going to start doing
this comes
edges.
through.
Yeah. I mean, here's the bottom left corner, and here's either
Going
the
back to the
top.
puzzle cam.
This has got to be like the top, maybe top left corner. There's so many bat
he is.
chests and chins.
Bat chests and chins. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Bat Chests and Chins.
Bat
I'm your
chests and
host.
chins. Next caller, please.
Yeah.
No callers.
No callers. That's absurd.
Here's another corner.
Callers
would
have been
you-
canceled.
How would you not call into a show where somebody's assembling bat chests and chins?
The other day in my study hall that I
Welcome
have,
back to Chins and Chests.
Um,
We're talking Bruce Wayne.
I talked to my kids about somebody seriously calling me.
Bruce Huang?
Martin is calling me. I'm gonna put him on the speaker. Hello.
You've called bat chests and chins? Yep.
Hold it closer to the mic. I can't see the levels, but I know it's not loud enough.
I'm not loud enough.
No, you're right on the mic now.
Tempted to come down there and just flip that table over.
I mean, I would if I were you, but that's a bit of a drive just to do a gag.
It'd be good television.
Literally 3 blocks away right now. 4 blocks away.
I mean,
What are you driving right now?
No.
I thought you didn't have a. Oh, you still have your brother's truck.
Yeah.
Do you not like the truck? Is it not a good truck?
oh,
It's a fine truck, but it's a bit much.
that piece. That's a
So
bullshit
what did I miss
piece.
earlier? What did you guys talk
This
about?
puzzle piece
Uh,
fits together like this.
Well, we were just talking.
That is a crap piece.
We were just talking about. We were curious if you'd ever gone down by the riverbank with some blue jeans with your pickup truck.
I have not yet. I used to live in a van down by the river, though.
Circa de El Rio.
Yeah. So I mean, I was just curious about that. You know, having a pickup truck. Let me tell you a story.
A story?
One time, my old Honda Civic got rear-ended on 31. We were stopped at a red light, just got hit, and I had to have some work done on my car. And the only vehicle that was available to me to drive in the interim was like a boat. It was like a 16-foot truck.
So I lived on the water for the next 3 days.
I could have with this thing. It was gigantic. I remember I parked in the parking lot, and like the other dudes at work saw me
this is
drive
the
up with this
Adam
giant truck,
West
and like,
one.
Aaron, is that your truck? Nice. And I'm totally
I need,
not.
like a weird blue
totally not
neck
a truck
piece
guy.
to get this.
I
part
heard that
together.
that truck had a big Trump flag on it too. Trump 2020.
Well, I wasn't gonna uninstall it. It came with the truck. It was a rental. They were nice enough to let me use it so I could get to and from work. Did get some funny looks from my coworkers, but
Okay, so this is
you
the
know,
other
I still got
edge.
there. Everything was fine, and I eventually got my Civic back. So no harm, no foul.
Was that the same Civic with the airbag?
No, that wasn't a Civic. That was a 1996 Grand Sport Skylark.
Okay.
That thing was a beauty. Whoa, what did I just do? I just deleted this whole layer.
Oh, that's why I'm missing an entire Batman, because like one of them is angry old Batman and one of them is like Batman in armor.
Angry old Batman. Let's take a look. We're going over to angry old Batman cam. Those fingers are a flying on those puzzles. Look at them go, ladies and gentlemen. Have you
Is
ever
Mrs. Lee
seen?
tuned in?
What's that?
Is Mrs. Lee tuned in?
She's probably tuned out a long time ago.
Okay.
She already
I wanted to
tuned
see if,
in.
doing puzzles on the podcast.
Oh, there we
was
go.
better
There we
than
go.
Mad Lib on the podcast.
Better than what on the podcast?
Doing Mad Libs.
Mad
Uh,
Libs on the podcast.
At least no one is stepping on the puzzles.
No, I missed
Good, that's good.
I missed Mad Lib podcast time.
About a year ago.
Let Alex know I'll finish
Took me the whole
it for him
podcast
tomorrow.
to do one Mad Lib.
Puzzler.
Yeah.
We have a volunteer at home who would like to come in and finish this puzzle, mañana.
I mean, that's
It's better than all the work I have to do there.
that's up to you. If you feel puzzly,
Always.
If you're feeling puzzly.
Is he a henchman of the puzzler?
But, I would be Alex Dexter's henchman.
yeah. See, there you go.
Good news. My wife is still in the chat. She says the only thing she understands in this podcast is,
Is
the
puzzle?
There we go.
That's our through line here. The Batman and Butts puzzle.
Yep. Yep.
Batman's
Butt puzzle.
butt puzzle. And
Oh man, this is getting.
Sure, never mind.
and what I'm working on right here is if we go back to the
What
doc cam.
face is this?
This is a moment where Wesley's in space and he encounters this giant
So it's-
man who has an acoustic guitar
So this is down.
and a little hat and a beard. And he's trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
So this is down below.
My
here.
image is frozen on. My image is
So
frozen.
here's
on just
this.
Alex's
And
hand
here's
on
this.
puzzle piece.
Well, we can go back to Alex's, or I mean the puzzler's hand. Here we go.
Puzzle
Oh,
hand.
My Twitch stream is just locked on that image.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
So
Look at
that's
those
what we got.
delightful hands.
All right, well, you gentlemen continue to have fun.
Oh, we're having the best of fun.
I'm going to switch over to a different podcast for a little bit. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I can't blame you.
Well, there's some great stuff going on over Convergence, so I'm just going to tune into that.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Oh,
I just put my first piece together.
Oh,
Let's
hashtag-
take a look.
Hashtag stuff Mary Lou did not like. She thinks I should be fired for my last comment.
I don't even remember what
Okay.
it was.
this
Good. All right.
the Aquarius puzzles are full of baloney.
I have selective memory.
How do you make puzzle pieces that do not clip together? They just butt together like this. Like the laser cutter just goes, yeah, it doesn't need to have a positive fit. It just sort of, there's like a curvy piece that fits into it.
Because everybody knows the best way to do puzzles is to go, this almost fits. I'm just going to ram it together.
Yeah, well, and that's where I'm at. Like, there's a little 3-piece here, and there's just this wavy cut in it, and it just sort of pushes together like this.
Well, that's
Kids,
just how the
kids
cookie
don't.
crumbles.
Kids don't solve puzzles. They don't.
Yes, they
this-
do.
They don't do this stuff. I don't.
Some do.
I don't.
Some are really into it.
That's
I've seen puzzles at the middle school.
Those kids are dumb.
Wow.
Hey, excuse me. Those are my kids.
Oh, sorry.
Aaron's dumb kids.
Hey, that's my charity.
Some of them, some of them are some of them have
Aaron's
been in the
only here
chat
for-
before, so it's not nice for me to say that at all.
Could you imagine like doing a like Jerry Lewis thing? Come on,
Aaron's kids.
You got some kids out there. Like I got some kids over here. They need some help. They're not the smartest, so they need some
doing
money.
puzzles.
They're doing puzzles. Just cut to the shots of them just like doing puzzles, and then like call our operators are standing by, and then the cut to the people just behind phones. Can we do a comic shop telethon?
Yeah.
This one. I mean, that would be
What
fun.
are we raising money for?
The comic
The
shop.
comic shop.
We do need money. We just bought a lot of magic. We do need money.
We can offer sketches and commissions. Let's do a comic shop Kickstarter.
We'll kickstart a new comic shop. Just get rid of this one.
Okay, so I found. I need like a weird neck piece. Is it this one? No.
You know, I have been. I've been
Doing
I
a
mean,
puzzle's a lot harder than I thought.
This is something I was going to bring up on the podcast.
You got all overzealous to be a minion, and now you're seeing how. Oh, okay.
This is one thing I
There we
did want to
go.
bring up on the
Just gotta link
podcast.
those too.
Some of
What
the
do you got?
different Kickstarters I've been looking at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we should probably talk about Kevin Delgado.
Yeah, well, that one we should lead with that one. So, our friend Kevin Delgado, who did a signing here with Nigel Carrington back in November.
Yep, November.
Both very talented artists. Kevin Delgado, known for his book Tough Stuff. I think he also did a 9-part series called Volantis. I
Yes,
think like
Volantis.
a sci-fi fantasy epic. Is launching. He's already launched his Tough Stuff, The Toughening, which is live right now. You can type in Kevin Delgado Tough Stuff into Kickstarter, and it will come up. It has some variant covers. Kevin Anthony Catalan, I believe, who did Space Knights, which is through Cosmic Lion Productions, the Eli
A
Schwab
whole face piece that I missed.
company. Did a variant cover for that, as well as Kevin Delgado did. I think he did 2 covers, and one is a die cut cover that is an homage to the
That looks really cool too.
the Mark Silvestri Wolverine number 50 cover, which looks great. And some of they had different rewards in there, like you can be drawn into the comic, or you can pay for a commission. I've already supported it, and I'm going to get a commission. I'm probably going to ask him to draw Wesley again because he did a variant cover for my Wesley number 9, which will be coming out soon.
It seems good.
Yeah, and another thing, I just today I got. I mean, I didn't think this was going to be anything crazy, but I did get approved to be at the Rochester Independent Comics Expo again
Cool.
this year. So if March
Nice.
25th, if you're out in the Rochester area, come by, hang out, maybe buy some comics. If not from me, from some of the other talented people that are there. Last year, I was really impressed with the folks that showed up. We had David Chisholm, an Eisner-nominated
He's so good.
musician as well as cartoonist. We did his new book is Into the Blue. He did Chasing the Bird about Charlie Parker. He's done other stuff, instrumental. His work is just phenomenal. We had Clayton Coles, who we met for the first time there, a letterer who's based out of Rochester, but like think of a mainstream or indie comic book that's out there being published today. He's probably the one doing the letters.
I mean, I always think of Chris Eliopoulos as the biggest letterer of like the 90s and the 2000s, and basically Chris Eliopoulos, he took over for Chris Eliopoulos
Yes.
with his blessing. Like Eliopoulos trained him, took him out of the Kubert School and basically said, "You're my guy now," because Eliopoulos was transitioning into
Like
all the
doing books.
yeah, all the book stuff, the Brad Meltzer,
Who was
yes,
this type stuff.
Ordinary People Change the World. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. So it was super nice to talk to him because lettering was definitely an area that that I could improve in. It's a skill that I'm still building, but I was inspired by that. I went on Blambot. No, it was Blambot. Blambot. Nate Picos, who's a wonderful letterer. If you're an indie cartoonist and you're looking for some typefaces, he has ones that are free for indie cartoonists to use. I highly recommend them. He had a sale around Christmas, 10% off, and I pulled the trigger on some new typefaces, and I've been very happy with them. So highly recommend that.
Your lettering does look so good in this issue.
Yes, and I got to go back and re-letter some other stuff too. I got a George Lucas, the other editions, but that'll be coming out over the course of this year.
George Lucasing.
Yeah, well, I think there will be some more George Lucasing besides just that, but not anything too crazy.
Good Lucas Brewing. Yep.
I think there's a lot of stuff in there that worked already. I'm just going to try and make it less uneven.
That's when you say that you want to work on something and then you just don't.
George Lucasing?
No.
Lucas Brewing.
Oh, Lucas Brewer.
Shout out to
oh,
Lucas.
yeah.
We were talking the other day. He's doing very well.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear he's still around. Hope he got that watercolor I did of him framed and put up prominently wherever he's living. In fact, because of his distaste of watercolor, at some point there will be a Wesley short story that is all watercolor.
A watercolor only episode.
Ooh, we could do that on the podcast. This is
Yeah.
basically our crafting club.
Yeah.
This is basic. That's what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on filling in all of this, all these black areas of the deep depths of space. This is highly influenced by Bill Everett, Steve Ditko, Maurice Everin on those early Doctor Strange runs. The backgrounds highly influenced by that kind of stuff, that kind of cosmic background. This has been some pretty fun stuff to work on. Yeah.
How many more pages do you have left in Leslie?
Let's see. Currently, this page is. I just gotta scroll. So I'm talking just artwork. I still need to script it and put in the lettering. But I do have it half fully written, fully lettered. This is page 51. Page 51 of 60. The next 2 pages I have pretty much done. I want to modify a little bit. Then I have 2 more pages to do. Then another 2 more pages. So we're talking, like, I have some fine tuning to do, but that's not redoing everything. 5 pages remaining after this current page I'm working on, out of 60. Ultimately, this book is going to be like 170 pages of story,
Oh, that might be
as
this
well
ear.
as
That's that ear.
probably easily 60 pages of articles of interviews with bands like Abso Facto, The Faint, Interpol, Miniature Tigers, Walter Migo, Dan Black, all really significant artists who have had international success to some degree or other. I would like to do a Kickstarter in January of next year. I'll be building out those rewards and other things over the course of this year, along with refining my previous 8 issues. But anyway, yeah, Kevin Delgado doing the toughening, coming active right now. I think it's over halfway supported already, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah. So my goal with this, and I think this should be a goal of all people who do comics on Kickstarter, is to have everything pretty much done before you even go to ask for money.
So, from
I think his stuff is pretty much
working
done.
with people at conventions who do a lot of their projects through Kickstarter, they almost exclusively recommend that, like, Kickstarter is literally just your final push. Like, you already have all your stuff in manufacturing process,
Yeah.
or in the case of like a comic, you already have somebody ready to print. You just need to pull the trigger for quantity.
Yes.
The Kickstarters that often fail are the ones that, 8 months goes by and nothing's been fulfilled, and then there's a hiccup and it's like, it's going to be another 4 months, and people get a little antsy.
Yeah.
And then people start, people move, and now you have to do the double down of like sending the Kickstarter stuff back out to make sure that, the backer kits are right,
Yeah.
and that, you're not sending things to errant addresses so that people eventually, get cranky because they never received their thing.
Right. Yes. That's one thing I'm taking into account. Like, I don't even want to get there until everything is collected. I'm like, I might make some refinements to something in between if,
Sure.
if everything goes well and I do get funded, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And I might make some tweaks to it as I go through. I'm thinking about some rewards type
That's
things.
always a good choice.
With some stretch
people
goals.
people like rewards a lot, even if you only have like 1 or 2 realistically that that you can pull off successfully.
I saw one that I really liked. That there's this comic called Weird Work that Shaky Kane did.
Okay.
He's the artist on it. He's not the writer, but Shaky Kane, who's done.
Tell the folks at home who Shaky Kane is.
He's done books like The Beef, which was highly entertaining, very, very kind of wild and surrealistic, kind of like a little bit in the Gilbert Hernandez realm, a little bit like a UK punk Jack Kirby.
Okay.
What other book he's done?
I remember The Beef. You guys
Bulletproof
showed me that.
Coffin. Bulletproof Coffin. I think there's some copies of some of his stuff still down here at the Oswego Comic Shop, 112 East Bridge Street.
The
comic shop.
And that could be bought online or in store.
I'm really stalling out here.
Oh, me?
Me. I'm
I feel-
sorry.
I'm doing some heavy lifting
Yeah,
over
no,
here.
you are. You're good. You know what you're. I mean,
Yeah.
you're better at this than I am.
Well,
just
I
talk
talk
a lot.
all day long. It's no ask to have me come in here and talk some more. But Shaky Kane did a book called Weird Work that has
just gotta start
concluded.
getting
They're
color
they're
blocking
sending
now.
out the final issue of that.
I don't think you're losing steam so much as we're just like getting to a point where we have to start putting stuff together. I'm paying attention. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to cut you off.
Yeah. They had a postal strike over in the UK, so that final issue is being sent out. But one thing I really liked that they did with the second issue, I mean, you can get the back issues too as things are going out. But what they did with the second issue was they provided prints that were backing board sized.
Okay.
This is a good idea.
That of different artists, and they got some heavy hitters on there. They had a Mike Allred, they had an Alexis Zarit, Juan Jose Rip, and other people who I'm forgetting who are just as good.
It's just
And
a
you
really
could get
good
the full
fit.
set of it for I think like $10 or $15 extra, and that is something I'm very interested in. Is like if we can hit some stretch goals, paying some people to do some Wesley the Robot artwork, which would be cool. And I've got some other folks in line who have already made some phenomenal Wesley the Robot artwork, and hopefully I can. I mean, even if I have to color it, the line work that I've seen has been maybe the best Wesley the Robot drawings, even better than mine, and I created the character.
Okay.
So I know Evan's seen these. I don't know where he lands on that.
You got some really good stuff. You got some really cool people that have contributed pieces. One of them might be kneeling at the puzzle table right now.
Well, they'll be in the collected edition, some fan art and stuff of Wesley.
Oh, I'm not a real artist. I'm just a fan. I'm sorry. No, you do like
Well-
the pieces that I've seen are some of the commissions. The level of artistic talent out there and
Yeah.
your ability to get some really great art
Yeah.
from a cool artist whose style is amazing at a
Yeah.
very there's
Very reasonable.
I almost didn't want to say it. I started to say it, then I was like, maybe I shouldn't.
I'll say
there's
reasonable.
There's some really cool people in the art world that you're in that have contributed and gave you some cool stuff. And,
Yeah, I would
it'll
like
be,
to
it'll
reach
be
out and do
fun.
some
It'll be
more.
fun to see that reach the light of day.
I would love to do some more. Like I don't have any of these issues, but something that always inspires me is Mike Allred's Madman. And the back covers, he would hire a commission of an established artist to do the back cover of a version of his characters. He would do this with Dan Klaus, with Will Eisner, with I think he even did a Jack Kirby. So it's always cool to have somebody else draw your characters, and,
Yeah.
and I have sprinkled that in a little bit throughout. But it's it will be very cool to continue in that tradition. And I would like to reach out to some other folks who are achieving some big things now, and maybe see like what their rate would be for a pinup or
Is there a name you want to drop or no?
I mean, I could drop a name. He's probably not listening to this, but there is somebody out there who has drawn Wesley the Robot before, who is kind of blowing up this year with his book.
Yo,
Pink-
call him out on it because we got his book right here.
Yeah, with Pink Lemonade by
Oh,
Nick Cognetti,
yeah.
issue number 4, dropped. Was it this week or last week?
Might have been probably last week,
Last week.
maybe 2 weeks ago, but maybe last week.
Doing some phenomenal stuff. I mean, he's working mostly with flat color on this stuff,
Doing
but
the Lord's work,
You just
man.
take
He's
a
got
look. You take a look closely at this. He's
style
got
for days.
attention to texture inside the flat color. He is just killing it with his color. Like as good as of an artist as he is, he might be an even better colorist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say that because I want him to keep drawing.
I want him to keep drawing too, but like the way he colors doesn't detract from the line art.
It just adds that much more to his style.
Yeah, because so much of the coloring that you see nowadays just tries to like play lead guitar over the lead guitar of the line art. And I'm a line art guy. I'm a child of the 90s. I love that good ink line. Whether it's crisp, whether it's clean, whether it's messy, just give me an interesting, cool black and white ink line, and then the color is just gravy on top. Like don't make your coloring the meat and potatoes of the thing. Make it work in black and white first. I'm old school in that way. I like it to work in black and white first. If you add color, it's a nice extra flavor, but it's not essential. But man, we get Nilk Delgado. Oh my
Nilk?
gosh, I'm just combining things. My friend Nilk, Nick Cognetti, just put up on social media his time lapse of working on this spread of Pink Lemonade and Ron Radical and all these guys throwing down in the middle of the street.
All the edge
Really
pieces?
cool stuff. I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to go through
if
the whole
you find
book,
any, I'll take it.
but it would be cool to get him to do a Wesley the Robot piece because we've been like friends on social media now for
I have, like,
years.
some amount,
so
so I'm trying to think of what
Oh,
you
okay.
have,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
have versus what I have.
let's take a look at how they're doing over there on the puzzle.
It's start like slowly but surely coming together.
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley.
There's another cartoonist kayfabe ringside
There's an
seats member, which it's an online Facebook group that I'm a part of creatives and just fans of comics. Chris Anderson
face
did a
piece.
book called Spectral, which is a horror book.
Yeah, that's one.
He's an LA guy who's done some work for heavy metal. I supported his book. I think they just got their books in LA 14 days ago, so I think they're working on getting those ready to ship out. Let's see what some of the other things are going on.
It is this one.
Death Fight Forever is something I'm very interested
Ooh, that
in.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, this is a comic book or a graphic novel. I'm not sure how long it is, but it's a book by Alexis Zaret, who did Night Riders and
There we go.
no
So now we
Night
got an
Hunters,
established
Space
corner
Riders,
here.
and it's a co-project with Andrew McLean of Headlopper, and that was successfully funded. So we'll see what happens with that. Ghost Agents is a book that's also through Eli Schwab's Cosmic Lion Productions, and Rocco Jerome, I think, is the writer of that. They have been putting those out consistently. I've supported those in the past. I think, Alex, you and I talked a little bit about them, right?
Sorry, one more
with the
time.
Wizard magazine, Ghost Agents. Did we get out a book of that?
Yes.
When we were looking through that.
Yeah, that was a fun day of just going through some of that stuff.
We should set up a time where maybe we just record like a whole bunch of those things. Like I know I give you a copy of Dynamite Diva.
Yep.
I got to read
Which
my copy too.
I when I was moving stuff around the other day, I was like, oh yeah, there it is again.
Yeah. We should set up maybe summertime. It would be easier for me. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's easier for you.
I mean, it's all flexible for me, and once I'm moved, then my schedule becomes much more stable because I don't have to split time between
Yeah.
different homes and such.
Yes. Yeah, we'll set up a time where we can talk about Dynamite Diva by Jasper Jubinville, who is really, really young. He's like, maybe he's 21. I don't even know. But
Oh, that's the kid you keep talking about.
Yeah,
where
his
I'm like,
skills
"Eh."
are nuts.
I need an edge piece. kind
What
of
other
looks
things are
like-
going on? There's a Tim Vigil Faust book that I supported, which was
Old
kind of
Batman
expensive.
piece.
But I think
that's
it'll only be
definitely the-
collected this one time, and it's a curiosity to me because Tim
Yeah,
Vigil's a
it's
really
fine.
strong artist. What else? What else is out there that I supported? I think that might be it for right now. Because try not to go too insane, but you also learn by being a part of these Kickstarters of like
there's a
what the
year.
goals are and what else is out there that motivates people to get involved in your project.
Kickstarter's a pretty fascinating place. Oh, so not to like go
Yeah, go
back into the misery of Dungeons and Dragons. So one of the things that gave credence to the leak, because it's a leak, so it's still a little bit unfounded, was that the CEO of Kickstarter confirmed that they negotiated a separate price for separate percentage for the amount that had to be paid to Wizards of the Coast for the whole revenue, essentially, which I
Weird.
thought was interesting. That Kickstarter doesn't want to dissuade people from using it, so they tried their best to facilitate for creators, which is very positive. I find Kickstarter to be a pretty transparent and good company. There's like any company problems, but they're pretty solid in terms of all the different crowdfunding places. They
It's probably
seem
the
to
biggest
support
name.
creatives pretty well. I've never specifically heard anybody having problematic dealings with them.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything crazy. There's some other organizations that have popped up recently that are also reputable that I've used. There's a service called Zoop. Have you ever heard of Zoop?
I haven't heard of Zoop.
I'm not sure what's different about them. They might be based out of Canada, and I don't think they use blockchain or anything like that. I think there was a controversy where Kickstarter was using some kind of blockchain for
Yeah.
security, or some other thing, or I don't know exactly what it was. But Zoop doesn't use any of that.
Okay.
And Matthew Allison, who does the book Cankor, have you ever heard of
Cankor. I have
you
not
ever
heard
heard
of
of that?
Cankor.
He's a ridiculous artist. His
I think
pages
you
are
showed me something about his not too long ago.
yeah, his art style is ridiculously detailed.
Face no.
And I supported his hardcover of his works of Cankor, and that arrived with no problems.
Good.
I thought for a reasonable price for a nice hardcover that collects all of his work to date
there
on
we
that
go.
title.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. I know Indiegogo gets kind of weird.
Indiegogo also, I feel like they have problems vetting certain projects,
Yeah.
and I know that not everything needs to or has to be vetted, but there's some stuff out there that people get burnt on pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, if I go down that crowdfunding route, I just want to make sure that I can fulfill whatever It is, and I know like sites like Kablam and Comics Wellspring will actually do shipping too.
Sure.
To that for a percentage. Actually, I think Zoop, that's one of their key features is
I just like saying Zoop.
yeah, they take I think 10% of the total thing, but they will take
That's
care of
not bad.
all the shipping.
Like the percentages just have to feel fair. Like
Yeah.
that's all. Everybody has to make their money somewhere,
Right.
and a 10% finder's fee / agency fee for something like that, I don't feel is out of the realm of
Yeah, especially
normality.
if they're set up already to do that, and it's one more thing you don't have to worry about, and you can just get on to creating the next thing, and not have to worry about it. That seems pretty fair to me. And a lot of the people, I mean, this is how I feel, but a lot of the people who are on like Kickstarter or Zoop or
organizing the
or-
faces
or-
because it'll start to
Where's
snap
this face?
together.
any kind of
I think
creative
that
project.
this is the Adam West face.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the one next to him.
Because
They
this
just-
is the
yeah.
middle face, but I don't see where this guy's face is.
That's the short pointy ears. So
Is it this
that's
one?
probably part of that one, and I just haven't gotten the rest of the parts for it yet.
Okay.
I haven't found much of anything for this one.
What time is it?
It is 7:13
Oh.
This has to be
on Puzzle Quest.
bottom right.
Are we still going?
Oh, we're still on.
Okay.
I mean,
but everybody feels okay?
I'm good.
All right. I don't know how much
I'm
more I have
good.
in me, but I'll go for a little while longer.
I'm good.
yeah, I'm getting some good work done on some speed lines with this intergalactic man on a skateboard.
Anybody saying anything? Or have they all given up on us?
Gotta run. Have a good night, gang. Let's see. Football MM says, "Is there a watercolor filter? How long before Aaron is fully off screen?" Well, I've been off screen for a while now. Nick, if they knew they would be puzzling, I would have taken a piece or two home with me. And then football MM said, "From Dark Horse." I'm not sure in reference to what. From Dark Horse. Is that a jab at the?
It Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And in my opinion, deservedly so. But
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of parallel thinking that can happen between things, but it just seems
it's suspect.
it's beyond the pale. What was
It
was
might not have been a sinister intention, but it's too suspect for me to just be like, oh yeah, this is just totally normal coincidence.
Yes. Seems weird. In the same way that like if I had launched Wesley the Robot or something like that, and all of a sudden like
It's a whole chin.
Wilhelmina the robot showed up and it was like a female version of
this is it,
Wesley.
Okay, it just doesn't fit together because like in Wesley's a unique enough character where could somebody make a robot that has that type of arms or maybe like a similar body shape, but like,
Oh yeah,
like
I mean his
there's
body
just,
shape
like,
is relatively
there's
derivative.
some stuff there that like you would be able to tell immediately if somebody just ripped it off.
I feel like his face is pretty unique. I went through many different iterations back in
Yeah.
2008 to kind of update that. It was inspired by. Do you remember like the last era of the CD player that these kind of like round little boxes that had the speakers on either side?
Isn't it? That's not it. Well, not quite. You're missing like a
one or two.
shoulder swoop. Yes, I do remember some CD stuff. This is very likely.
That's the starting point of
there's
inspiration.
The bottom corner though.
Nice.
for Wesley's design, and I wanted to make him look a little bit more insect-like from his kind of even more generic.
Which these are
Origins.
the top. That's that and that then.
How's this looking? Yeah, it's looking pretty sharp.
Where are we?
Are you done with Wesley number 9 yet?
No,
Oh, I thought maybe.
I'm almost done with the
This-
top
this-
the top panel here. Actually, I'll switch back
no,
over to my
that's not
dock cam.
there.
So we've got,
okay, so here's like part of an
This
ear.
skateboard man shooting through space in front of some planets
Right,
and some other
right,
things.
swooping the right way.
Yeah. You're close. We're missing like eyepieces.
Dude, that's what I was just looking for. Was eyes over there? I couldn't find any eyes.
Oh, here's a whole piece of a bat chest.
Beware the eyes of butt chin.
Bat chestman.
Bat Chessman. He's a dangerous man.
We're like missing like a whole face in the middle somewhere.
The greatest or worst podcast?
The comic
Yes.
shop makes a puzzle. Wilhelmina is a very nice lady.
There There's another earpiece.
Who's Wilhelmina?
But that's my derivative female Wesley the robot.
Oh, is that what we just said? I missed it.
Yes.
Damn, sorry.
It's okay.
Alex was talking.
You're deep. Yeah, you're deep in puzzle mode.
The
We are.
hyper focus has begun. And that could be a problem. It's not a big problem,
In what way?
but it's just the fact that if we don't finish this, I'm gonna dwell on it. And that's the problem. This is part of the old man Batman chest.
Old man Batman chest. So it's the Batman Beyond chest.
It's the Frank Miller chest.
Oh, okay, that's also
like
old Batman.
was that Dark Knight Returns when he's super old?
Dark Knight Returns, some videotapes.
Yes. Bruce gets his cane out and canes somebody into bringing the videotapes back.
That's got to have been a mashup that somebody did, right? The Patrick Bateman and
Oh.
Batman crossover.
It's got to be out there somewhere.
Somebody must have done that. If not, that's a crime against humanity. I guess I could give it a cursory Google. I do have the power of
Slot
internet.
Into no, because it's not that close. This is like here-ish, must be, and this is. There's no way it's that close.
Oh yes, people have done that. Oh, here's some really nice fan art of Batman as Patrick Bateman. Oh, and they have Jared Leto as the Joker, which is perfect. Because Jared Leto was also the Joker.
We're a
I
little
think
bit
I've
off.
tried to
We're
do
a
that
little
like
bit
3 or
off,
4
yeah.
times, and it.
We're a little bit of gray off there. Okay, back to bat faces. Because if we get bat faces, then they'll start to knit together, and then I can start finding the shoulders and cowls. That's my big
Find those
hang up
cowls.
right now. Is this the top? Is this the top left? I think this is the top left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Maybe the top left.
Which means that this is bottom left. And this is 1, 2.
Buckle my shoe.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Many bats at the door.
Mm. 5, 6.
But Chinian.
5, 6. Lots of Nightwing.
5, 6. Lots of Nightwing. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure.
No, puzzles take too long, man.
I told you.
Why do people do these? How many bat faces do we have?
I'm going to provide some
1, 2,
royalty-free
3, 4,
background music. Oh, this file type is unsupported.
6, 7,
Here you go,
8,
let's try
9,
this.
10. Okay, so we have the start of all the bat faces at the worst. It's just combining the colors and bits to make them stick together.
You can do it. I
Oh,
believe in
I'm-
you.
I'm sure that we can.
This is music we don't have to worry about violating any copyright on it because I have the copyright on it.
Perfect. Suppose
oh, it
do
shut
I
off.
just start gathering similar colors then? I suppose that's probably
Might not
the
be a bad
next
idea.
the next choice.
Let's try this one.
Ooh, yeah. I like what's going on there. Keep these corners separate. Lots of purple. Purple's like all the cloak at the bottom too, okay? So that's a positive thing. We can get all these set aside. Does that mean that like there's a Batman with like a velour like cloak liner?
One can only hope.
Yeah, they got pretty crazy in the 60s with the different Batman suits, didn't they? Or
Does
maybe
he,
it's
like-
the 50s.
Does he wear tights so that he can feel the velour brushing against the tights?
Maybe?
We're not here to judge.
He's a rich man.
Yeah.
The tights are silk.
Have they ever done like the Finery Batman?
Alfred, dress me in my finery. Oh,
There's
in
a
doing
pitch.
so, I
What-
found part of the face.
Or was that the Neil Gaiman Batman?
I don't. Yeah, Neil Gaiman Batman is a thing.
Yeah, when when Neil Gaiman does horror stuff, okay, sign me up. When he does frilly shirt stuff,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you lose me.
You don't like frilly shirts?
it's not that I don't like frilly shirts. It's just I don't know. When it gets too Shakespearean or too like I don't know. It just seems it doesn't get my interest. It's not visceral enough for me. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry,
Like it doesn't
it's part of cowl.
just doesn't interest me, I guess.
Ooh, that's got to be part of the cowl up in the top because
Yeah.
it's weird shaped.
Cowl. Has anybody ever done like
Simon Cowell?
like a Batman whose sidekick is a cow? Cowl.
Cowell.
Cowell.
Cowell. It's a cow from Krypton. Yes.
Mhm.
You listening, DC editors? Get us some writing credits, please. We're gonna turn your fortunes around out there at AT&T and Time Warner. I was gonna say TNT.
I don't think so. No, it's too loose. Like even their weird cut pieces fit together pretty nicely.
What,
so you need
crinkle
light,
cut?
light colored pieces then to kind of because there's a definitive stroke. That's one nice thing
Yes.
is like there is a cut line where the gray transitions.
Would you call that Deathstroke?
This is the death stroke because it will probably give me a stroke and then death.
To complete the puzzle or
Yeah.
leave it unfinished?
Well, to leave it unfinished will definitely be like a stroke, but
This has been the puzzler has a stroke.
yeah.
Oh God! Well, when I took over, I told you we were going to do some seizure-inducing transitions.
Guys, my face feels like it's melting.
Oh.
And I smell burnt toast.
Even Martin is out. Said, "Have fun, guys. Later."
Martin will finish the puzzle because there'll be like 4 pieces left that aren't done.
He'll just come in, just bop, 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 just drop him in.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say that top panel complete.
For you?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
got to save that out. Load it up in InDesign. I'm probably the only person who does comics this way, where I do it panel by panel and then plug it into.
No,
the
I
page in
doubt that,
InDesign.
man. I bet you. I don't think it's a ton of creators, but I would guess 20% of creators, 15% of creators do something like that. I think that's
Yeah.
just a new way to work. If anything, it's going to get more popular over time.
Yeah. Well, I like to do it that way because
Because here's going to be whatever.
I can
here.
focus on one panel at a time, and the composition's already figured out, and I can kind of put the blinders on and just make that one panel as good as it can possibly be, and then move on. Who knows? Will I always do it that way? I don't know.
You don't need to.
Yeah. But I gotta say, these pages in space, they've been coming out pretty good. I've been pretty excited about how good they look. Cause you never know. You never know until it's done. Let's take a look at that doc cam. I can take once I get this updated, I can zoom in on that top panel.
This goes in here somewhere. This is definitely this year.
There they are. Geniuses at work.
Burning
then
the
we're-
midnight oil
we're-
and brain cells.
We're here too.
Hey guys, I'm still doing a puzzle. Hopefully you've enjoyed
The Puzzler. Oh yeah.
mystery puzzling.
Mystery Puzzle
Oh.
Theater.
That's like his whole eyebrow. There we go. That's a big move.
All right, gotta let this thing update so I can see that high res
I
preview.
want to know where these parts are. There's because they're just lost in like the pile of dark Batman face parts.
Dark Batman face parts.
Yeah.
Part 7.
There's also a number of belts over here that make me just think that
A
Rob
number of
Liefeld
belts.
was working diligently.
Liefeld. His podcast is pretty good. Anybody listen to that one?
I don't.
Really?
I like it.
Not because I like go out of my way not to, but just
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
entertaining.
found it. All right, found the pieces.
perfect.
Yeah, so let's zoom in on. Let's update this one more time.
Oh, okay, that snaps together. That's a big one.
when this thing is done saving. I'll bring that back over. Let's take it back. Look back over here.
Which chest is that? That is this chest.
And I'm back to being stumped
Ooh.
again. No, not me, not.
There we go. There's another big old chonk.
That's the right piece, right?
We'll just glue it to the
That's the
table.
right piece.
I
I
think
feel
so.
good about that one.
I think so.
I feel good about that one.
Oh, okay. Hey, we got some other musical tracks.
Mm-hmm.
This takes me back to the old art streams back in the day. Let's update these links.
Anything that looks like a face over here. Oh, there we go. There's like a whole. Which one is it though? Is it? Nope, it's not that eye. It's this eye. Okay. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so we know how wide it is then. Okay.
Yes.
So, So like all of this, like.
Yeah,
made-
that's right. I mean, that's. I see the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, that's. I don't think we're missing anything.
Okay. Okay. Which means that this has to be part of this edge. It's not.
Does
Is
it go-
it?
does it go
Is
right in?
there? Is it there?
Yeah, we can go
okay.
with it.
Okay. Which means at some point soon this is going to come into play. Because this is definitely his shoulder in here somewhere. It's not as simple as this, is it? Like, it's not just. No. No. Okay. I got like another piece or two. This is like up here maybe. I don't know who's. Oh, that's ear. I guess my scope of this is like just way off. Because it's going to be, obviously, it's going to be a lot more compact very, very soon.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, I'm standing up again.
so is that here then? No. Oh, okay, so that means that this is like this then. Maybe. Or is it?
Well, I'm just gonna at least pack up my stuff. I'll do some cooldown drawings on some markers. Where did I just put that? There it is.
That feels like that here.
So now Teresa's gone. It's Lucy's bedtime.
We've outlasted the entire audience.
That's right. That's
They're
the goal.
Weaklings.
Let's see. What shall I draw?
Do.
So where was the
It's little
bat chest
vocal
that I was
samplers.
working on then? I had like part of this guy's bat chest worked out and I lost track of it.
Did I find it? Hey, it was in front of me the whole time.
It always
Alright,
is.
so now, yeah, we know exactly what we're working with.
I don't think we're quite there yet here. We got to be close. Oh yeah, because this is shoulder cloak.
Yeah.
So is it here? It feels like it should be it. It's not though.
I'm gonna draw an Incredible Hulk in celebration of the cancellation of Incredible Hulk.
The Incredulous Hulk. It wasn't, well, I mean, I guess it was canceled. I'm very curious what happened with Donny Cates with that.
I think it's a divorce.
Is that what's going on?
I believe.
Not that I want to
so.
get anybody's personal business then, I guess, but because he kind of put out, what a terrible year this has been. And obviously,
It's this.
I think
No.
Ryan Otley wanted to finish his run, but 14 issues is a little disappointing. I thought that could be fun. I thought that could be a really weird book.
There.
I
That's
mean,
fast.
I didn't pick it up, but I did like the concept of it, like as described to me of Dr. Banner being the pilot of
Yes.
of the Hulk, and having the Rage be in like an engine room
Yes.
in a VR reality where he just is becoming more and more agitated, and that makes his Hulk that he's piloting more powerful. That was an interesting concept.
Good gimmick. Good gimmick.
I did like that.
There's like a couple pieces that as soon as I find them, it's going to start to snap together a little bit quicker. It's just like, what are they specifically?
Where are
There's
you?
one. That's a whole shoulder. Hmm.
Dink a dink. Oh, I jumped the gun. Dink a dink a dink. Dink a doo.
That's what you do when you want to do a solo
Dink-a-doo.
and you can play 4 notes. That's what you do.
Hmm.
Someday we'll work on music again, Aaron. We can even start over a
Oh
new
my
song.
God.
Oh, we can continue working on that.
No, I know you hate it.
No, I don't hate it. I think it's
Yeah, you
fine.
said you hate its guts.
That's not true.
It's disgusting guts. I believe that was the exact words you used.
This has got to go in the upper corner.
Listening to this stuff
somewhere.
makes me wish
just
I had a
don't know
guitar
where.
again, though. But I
think
just don't have a good
that's
way to
gotta be
record in.
like a shoulder up here somewhere.
Yeah.
We're just not quite
Yeah.
to that edge. It's just this is definitely a right-facing shoulder, like here near the ear. It's like the whole side of a head. Is that? Oh, is it the other side? Is it the other whole side of the head? Yes, it is. It's this piece right here. There we go. We're starting to close in the upper right corner.
For the folks at home, we're closing in the upper right corner.
Which means that this is actually the headpiece up there. So we just
Oh, let's take a
gotta,
look.
we gotta figure out which of these squiggly bits. Oh, I'm gonna have to mute my phone.
If the wife needs you, she needs you.
No, it's the guys from work who are
Oh, we forgot that
just like going back and forth about why'd you zoom in on my house on Google Maps. I don't know. They play
Is
like
this
the
you?
they play like the lamest shop pranks ever on
really?
each other. This is a wrinkly.
Ooh, I like this one a lot. How have I never heard this before?
I don't know.
This is a wrinkly shoulder bit.
This one's called
Oh,
Floaty.
they're really just going after each other right now.
This is about pool floaties.
Maybe. This I was trying to channel some like air type feel.
Oh, that
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not a difficult sound to make either.
What was that, like an Eddie Van Halen thing? He said that, music is 13 notes, but it's what you play in between the notes. It's those, it's the transition. It's the warbles that take it to the next step. I'm sure that quote is wrong, but I'm sticking with it.
No, it's 100% correct. We don't fact check on the podcast. Here's a wonderful drawing of Hulk. I call it Hulk Make Punchy.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah. This is my Hulk comic I'm pitching to Marvel. 24 pages a
Does
month.
that mean that this is
Every page is a splash
Here
page
then?
with a chibi Hulk just like this.
a chibi Hulk?
And he might punch somebody. It might just be him yelling things on every single page. And that's okay. Maybe I'll have a little, he'll transform into Banner too if I'm feeling frisky. I was trying to go into the next track, which is...
Feeling frisky?
No.
I wish I had a tape measure because I'd be able to figure out if we were far enough across on the top.
You're on the tape measure?
I'm almost thinking that some of these go in here somewhere. Like maybe over here. Because this this is this face and this is a lot of space. But I think that this is correct. I just think that from here to here it might not be.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, are we missing something?
Yeah. Like this is definitely still the outside edge of that corner, but I think that we're missing like some space over here.
So I got too excited, maybe. It looked pretty.
No, it looked right.
Do you see any more straight edge?
I don't think it's too many pieces either. That's the thing. There's just like we're missing like one ray burst split somewhere. Yeah, because like this is the weird blue gray, and then the gray, then the medium gray, then the sort of white, and then we're missing. I think that this piece might actually still go here, and I think we need another medium gray, then a darker gray. But I don't know how that could be. We don't have.
No, there's one that works.
Okay.
There's one that
Okay.
works.
Cool. Cool. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Some sensuous late night puzzle making.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, let's make a puzzle.
Let's make a baby. All right, we're here now. We've expanded. Does that feel better to you?
Yes. Right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Yes, it was 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It also visually makes a little more sense too, because now it's not so cramped. It's like a whole bat chest that goes somewhere. This one goes up here. Yes. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
Come on, Aaron, get in on it.
Anything that even sticks out at all, just grab, even if it's because now you're the observer who hasn't observed too long, so your pattern identification is going to be faster than ours.
Maybe.
I don't know what this piece is. Is this his gauntlet? Yes. Okay, so this piece goes way down here. Not ready for that one yet. Oh, this is the face that goes. Yeah. Okay, I mixed the faces up. This is definitely the face that goes in the upper corner. That makes more sense.
You need to play a synth horn, as you might say. too crazy because then it sounds real bad.
There's an ear.
Haven't any luck finding eyes?
No.
That's oh yes, there's one. I need it. I needed the
What's that?
the
Is that a
prompt.
clap that's in there? That wet? Is that a clap?
I think it's a clap and a snap.
Okay.
Layer down.
I just like it. It's real wet and sloppy in a good way.
This goes up here somewhere.
This is the best result of my chill phase when I was trying to make like just really relaxing music. Or trying to. Except it's not so much 140 BPM and very spiky.
There's another piece.
Yeah, see, can you put vocals on top of this? Be easy. Be pretty easy to do.
Dude, we should do a song with vocals.
Yeah, do some nice auto tune.
Yeah, we'll just start rapping.
Some
Like
some
old man
fun-
rap.
You know, I have a rap that I've been writing for several years of like about like you know how being very braggadocious in the rap culture,
Mhm.
but instead like bragging about how bad of a driver you are. You know, like bragging about how like you cut in front of people at the grocery store because you're older than them. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, they're gonna hit you because everybody's out of control and unhinged.
That's right. No, there's any decorum anymore. I'm out of
Ooh, I
control
think this
and
goes.
unhinged
I think this goes over. Nope. This has got a white corner. This has to go up here somewhere.
It's time for some rip. A rip. A rippity reps. Enjoy your reps. 'Cause
Does this go up here? I think that goes up here somewhere. This is a very light color. I want to know where his stupid face is. Is this like one of those
Great googly moogly.
great googly moogly?
Here we go.
Hmm.
Ooh, ooh. Uh-oh.
This is a belt piece.
Oh, no.
That's another like more recent song, quote unquote, that I felt like wasn't bad.
I feel like I would watch this. This would be definitely in like a fun science video.
This song.
Yeah.
I just keep in my head. I keep going. Come on, eat potatoes. Come on, eat potatoes. Which I don't know why I go there with this one.
It's very fitting for.
I think it works.
I mean, Aaron did spend a lot of time drawing potatoes one day.
I do remember that.
In fact, one of those kids, my wife doesn't have, but is in the same grade that she teaches.
Bam.
And every time that kid sees her, he always tells her about how awesome I am.
Nice.
Because I drew him a potato in a comic book I made.
hmm Hey, it's a satisfying life.
Well, because you gotta make it fun for yourself. If it's fun for you, then it's contagious.
Yes.
Come on, eat potatoes.
Oh yeah, that little keyboard part.
Yes.
I'd like
Ooh,
that this
ooh,
could be a fun little
that's-
science song. I was trying to find like a song that had a little bit of energy to it, but had like a bunch of like.
There we
rhymes.
go. This part's almost locked in right now. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
What did I put on the bass? Like a little bass or a chorus or something.
Come on, eat potatoes.
Sorry about that.
I've just title now.
Come on, eat potatoes.
We're gonna surgically transplant
Ooh,
this
yeah,
over here.
Yeah. Get it.
Come on,
Get it done.
That's a cape.
We're only missing.
Says his chest would be
Yep.
there.
We're only missing like a few parts. Oh, or does this
plug
just?
right in?
Yeah, it might just lock right in there. This might be the side. Okay.
Come on, eat potatoes.
Come on, eat potatoes.
Nah, it's still got a few more to go.
Come on, eat potatoes.
I've ruined your song forever, Aaron. I'm sorry.
No.
Made it better.
Come on, eat potato. It's giving me focus and drive. Come on, eat potatoes. Come on, eat potatoes.
No money for eggs.
So does that mean that this ear goes in?
pieces anywhere else?
No, that doesn't go there. I'm not sure because they're like these heads are all similar height, so this might be that might be this piece, and then it does this.
That seems right.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
close.
I think we're missing like 2 pieces.
2 pizzas. Speaking of pizzas.
Does that go?
That does.
Yeah, I think you've got it. It's coming in pretty hard here.
Pretty sure. Okay.
Here's the Thanksgiving jam.
So somewhere we're just like missing a
No,
little.
there's I've got this.
Okay.
I just couldn't figure out. Maybe we're missing 2 pieces.
Now I'm just trying to get the.
Baste the turkey often.
Where's this color coming in?
Because there's a piece of yellow. It's this right here. It's the belt into his
Oh,
shoulder.
okay. So it's this piece. It's this piece.
All right, so we need 1 piece for that. I think that might be it.
Use the turkey often.
Serve with cranberry sauce.
Done.
Find it? Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So we got 1 more piece down here, I think, and then we're done with the
Mm-hmm.
This has got to go somewhere in here, right?
Yeah, somewhere like I have parts of it, like I can't tell which batch. I think it might be, which means that this head actually goes like way up over in here. Because they're all like similarly heighted. Heighted? That's
a word.
similarly high. Okay. That goes like that. And that hooks in there somehow. And we're missing like a piece in here.
That long straight line that's kind of purple.
And there's this ear goes here still. We've got a pointy ear that I'm not sure where that pointy ear goes. So a big chunk of bat chest. It's also another pointy ear. This doesn't. Oh, that does go together. So that's old fat head Batman.
Old fat head.
This one?
No, that's like the old like black and white TV show Batman. The Dark Knight Returns Batman, which goes like here-ish somewhere.
Old fat head bat. Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. And I think these are all modern Batman on the bottom.
DJ, we need another song.
DJ, play that beat.
Should we worry about copyright?
No.
No.
You're not going to get a DMCA strike. Like, and even if you do, then you just, like,
We can just cut this part out, right?
yeah, like, the only thing that happens is your YouTube re-upload doesn't get monetized, but the channel's not monetized.
Right.
This goes up here somewhere. I just don't know. Oh, nope. It goes right there. Okay. Yep. There we go. Lock together part of a headpiece. This is another light colored. I think this is that's got to be a shoulder up here somewhere. I just don't know where. Yeah, that's got to be that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I used to know Quentin. He's a real jerky.
All these light colored ones go up top somewhere. Is this purple piece over in that pile then?
What's that? It might be.
Okay.
Oh, is this Mr. Chorizo?
No.
Mr. Chorizo.
Mr. Chorizo.
I contributed one piece. Just want to point that
Hey,
Thank you.
any piece is important at this point. Is that? No, that's not even close.
There is one piece on the ground by Aaron's foot, but I don't think that's. Oh, yeah.
Still a color, but it's not a flat. Watch it be a true puzzle, and there's just like a piece that's definitely not an edge that fits together like an edge. That's part of a bat chest.
I'm always impressed that like something as small as a phone can have decent bass on it.
Mm-hmm. That's got to go somewhere in maybe there.
Yep. Come on. Come on.
Is that over here then? No. Or maybe even over here. No. I really just want the crinkly forehead parts to go together. Oh, there we go. The couch is upside down. Oh, and that goes in there like that. It's all gonna have a touch of blue on it. Like that.
Hey!
That's gotta be. We're like getting super close to locking this whole part in together. That's like this is a. So this medium blue comes to like a point. Kind of like this.
Didn't understand any of the words to that song.
Wub 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 wub. Droid speak.
Don't understand these words either. The French make interesting electronic music. Still got the
Oops, there we go. There's a corner of that. I just don't understand how we're missing so many pieces. Like some of the faces still. Like this whole face and this whole face are just gone. I think it's because it's mostly going to be like a squint, like a multi-piece. So is that? That's his waistband pouches. Somewhere in here. Because I'm thinking too small and like we should go it way up higher. So does that mean these are like actually way up here then? Oh, they have to be, okay. That's probably part of what's screwing me up so bad.
This is center Batman leg.
Center Batman leg. Okay. Okay. So that's definitely somewhere in Ishmar. And then that means that so that Batman is here. This is the center. What am I getting mixed up then? These are ears. This is an ear. This is a face. So this actually goes like way.
Higher up. Because like he's
This might actually.
he's a little
Does it
bit
go
higher
over?
than the middle.
Close.
Yeah.
We're not quite there. But like these heads are similar. Same thing with this. It's probably much later than I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta call it. 8:01. All right, we'll give it this a 5-minute warning. Get us out of here. Man. You want me to close it up? Yeah.
What's that? This has got to be this one then.
If you're still out there, you've been listening to the Comic Shop Does a Podcast with me, Aaron Lee, Evan Coy, and who could forget
The Puzzler.